Hi folks, the other day I recorded a free improvisation on the first part of the classic jazz tune In a Sentimental Mood. And I went back a few days later and wrote it out, which is what you see before you hear. And I just noticed I was using a lot of altered dominant scales and some other things that some of you guys might find interesting. So I wrote it out and I thought I'd do this video today. I don't have so great of technical proficiency, so I don't know how to splice a couple of videos together. So I'm actually going to play the thing again. I suspect in its original recorded form, where I'm just like freely improvising without any music at all, that's probably going to sound better musically. So I'll post that separately as a separate video, and you might find it interesting to check out. But today I'm just going to play it for you like almost like a classical etude, of course in the jazz style. So the original tune, if you recall, is In a Sentimental Mood. So, it starts on the minor 1 chord, goes to the minor 4 chord, then back to the minor 1 chord, then a 2-5-1 to the corresponding major chord at the very end. So let me play for you the In a Sentimental altered chord. Okay, so I added a little bit extra at the end. I didn't exactly play as written in a couple of spots because what I improvised the other day is actually pretty hard to duplicate when it's written down on the page. But I did my best I could to kind of reduplicate it. And I wanted to point out some things that you guys might find interesting. Look at section A at the beginning there, and then I extract it on the next page. So the beginning there is a B minor pentatonic scale. So that's how the tune begins too, and I just extend out for another octave. Look at section B here and here, section B, where basically I'm transitioning to the minor 4 chord, changing the B to a B7 dominant, but using an altered approach. So in this case, B7 becomes B alt 7, and so I'm using the B alt 7 scale. Look at B, and out of that, what I've done is I've extracted from that scale a triad pairs approach, diatonic triad pairs from the B alt, from scale degree 4 and scale degree 5 from B altered dominant. So you have the scale degree 4, the one built in scale degree 4 is a E flat plus 5. And then the one built on 5 is the F major. And then just by building them up through the inversions. I like the way that sounds. It kind of intensifies the dominant function, leading to the minor 4 chord. So right here we are right at B. I'll take it at measure 3, which is one measure before that. There's your B minor milieu. Then I'm making it dominant. And then leading to the 4 chord. And this is just a up by a half step kind of decoration. Back to the minor 4. Okay, now that leads us to C. At measure 6, it kind of begins there. Basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm using the F sharp. Look at me with me at C. I'm using the F sharp alt 7 idea. So first of all, look at on the other page. C is the F sharp alt scale. Right? But what I'm doing is I'm using diatonic fourths extracted from the F sharp alt. So it's kind of a neat sound, what you're doing is it's F sharp 7. It's leading you back to the minor 1 there in measure 8. But what I'm doing is I'm extracting diatonic fourths. So you got this kind of sound. So that's what you got going. So I'm going to take it at measure 5. And that has a pull because of the tritone and sort of the dominant pull, leading you back to the B minor. So what I just did was I'm back in B minor there at measure 8, but I'm using the same idea with it, extracting diatonic fourths from the B minor scale. So if you look at D, I kind of talk about that down there. D, B minor scale. And then extracting the diatonic fourths out of it. So just kind of a cool effect that some of you might enjoy. Okay, so moving on from D. So here's D, measure 8. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get back to the E minor 7 in probably approximately measure 11. So in measure 10, I'm going to the B7 again as a dominant function, getting over to the E minor in measure 11. And then you're solidly right there in measure 11. You're solidly on E minor again. And let's see, that is, okay, so you're solidly on E minor. So E minor goes to A7, and there, I'm just, I was using my ear the other day, and I kind of hear this, we're talking section E, which is measure 13. I'm hearing this A7 chord, this A dominant chord, is as an A13 sharp 9 flat 9 sound like this. So it's just an embellishment on A7, extracting out two triads from it, triad pairs that are a tritone apart. When you put them together, it forms the A13 sharp 9 flat 9 sound. And I just thought it sounded neat at the time without really thinking too hard on it. So going back to measure 11 in the music. 16 is your tonic, your one chord, D major 9. So basically the tune is ended here. And I just thought there's some really pretty embellishments you could make over the one chord. So that right there is kind of a nice embellishment. While the band is playing on the major one chord, you superimpose the C sharp 7 sharp 9 over D, C sharp 7 sharp 9 over the D major sound, and it has just kind of a nice effect as you resolve back to the one. So it has a nice sound. Many guys have been playing this for many years and talk about it. I just added a little extra bit where I'm up on that 9, right on the 9 of the scale degree 9 of D major 7, and I just take some descending arpeggiations down, beginning at measure 17, going to 18, going to 19. I do some descending arpeggiations, and they're built off the scale degree 9 of D major 9. And they're descending by minor thirds. It just has a nice effect. The logic that pulls it together, I think, is the logic of the diminished. So each triad is a minor third apart from each other one. And it pulls it, I think it pulls it nicely, anchored off the scale degree 9 of the D major 9. It's anchored off of that. I think it pulls together nicely and has a nice colorful effect. So I'll take it back at measure 16. We've basically ended the tune. We're on the D major 9. Okay, so that's all I had for you today. I just thought there was a lot of stuff going on there that was interesting. Feel free to grab whatever appeals to you. Steal whatever you want. Be in the music tradition and take, like Stravinsky, just take what you need to take and leave the rest aside if it's not useful to you. Bye-bye.